everyone. So I'm gonna do a part 2 to the tips for seniors in high school, and this is gonna be a short series of the tips for seniors, tips for in high school. I'm gonna do for seniors, juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. Sadly, I think the sophomore video is gonna be kind of short because sophomore year is kind of like that year where you're just like, you're not quite an upperclassman, but you're not a freshman. It's kind of like, I don't know. But this is going to be the tips for seniors in high school, part 2. I had questions about community college. I did not, when I did that video, I was in college, and I did not ever, I didn't go to a community college. I went straight to university. So I'm going to talk about community colleges first because a lot of people had questions, and I know a lot of you care about, okay, can you just get to the community college part? Can you talk about college? Can you talk about this? So I'm going to start with that first, and then I'm going to go into what you should do your senior year, or at least try to stay on track. Usually I just start talking, and I do have a list, so I will try and keep to this list. Community colleges. A lot of people, go to community college, to get their grades up before going to university, or to get some classes done before going to university, or to go get their associates so if they transfer to university, they don't have to redo credits they have already done. Community college is a great way to save money. If you don't get much financial aid or you didn't get a scholarship to a university, community college is the way to go because it's cheaper. And honestly, depending on the community college you go to, they make it a little bit easier to take the baby steps into going to a university. It's like, it's not going to be as easy as high school, but it's a transition to university where instead of, doing the harsh deadlines where it's like, it has to be in on this day, I'm not going to grade it. It's going to be more of, well, you can turn it in if it's after this point, you're getting this many points off or something like that. It's more of a transition, and I think it helps a lot of people who weren't really good at school, like high school. It helps them, transition to university where it's like, okay, it's helping me get to a lot stricter guidelines. If you want to go to a certain university, you can try and go to the community college for the first 2 years in that city or near that area, because it'll help you, learn everything about that area, what the area has to offer. Is it really a good place to go to school? And sometimes if you go to a community college or someplace near, I know if you go to Blinn College, you can take some classes at A&M University if there's a certain program you can do. So I do know there's some colleges out there that do let you take classes at the university and your community college. So if you live somewhere around there, that's really going to help you learn if you really want to go there and help you decide, is this a place where I want to live? It's definitely a good place because it's a good thing to do because you get to learn about the school, the university itself, and you get to take classes, and I don't think you have to pay for the university price. I think you actually pay just for the classes. So it's cheaper than going to the university for the first 2 years. Something else, if you definitely don't give up on college if you don't get into any of your schools of your choice. Community college is definitely a good, it doesn't make you look bad or anything if you went to community college first. I know a lot of people that went to community college, and there's transferring into universities now, and I think it's going to help them in the long run because it's going to help them, transition, and I think they're going to, enjoy university a lot more because it's like, I've been so close but so far, and now I finally get to, eat the fruit, or I finally get to be in this environment, and it's a lot more exciting than just going from high school where it's like a big step, but this time it's kind of like a transition. You're like, I'm almost there, it's like I'm getting closer with every year. Financial aid, I know a lot of people are probably going to wonder about financial aid. Financial aid, you start applying for it, you can start applying for it your senior year, January 1st of your senior year. Of any year, the financial aid form goes up January 1st. You want to apply as soon as possible. The sooner the better, because the sooner you apply, the more money you're possibly going to get. And, yeah, right now, like, every January 1st, every New Year's, we fill out mine, so it's kind of like a new tradition. And even if you think you're not going to get financial aid, still fill it out, because there's a chance you might get a loan enough to cover your books. And you can pay like $700 for books, so getting a loan to cover that is really good, because that means that's one less thing you have to worry about. So definitely apply for financial aid, no matter, you know, how much money your parents make or anything like that. I'm going to go into applying for college. And first off, I say apply anywhere you think is interesting. Anywhere. I understand it's expensive, you know, $50, $60 to apply to a school, but it'll give you a lot of choices. Apply to local schools, out-of-state schools. Apply anywhere you think has your major, or I say don't apply to under 5 schools. I made that mistake, and I could have been going to my current university 2 years ago. So definitely, you know, apply to more than just 2 or 3. I say, if you're watching this video, apply to at least 5. One in the city where you live, one right on the border of where you live, another city, another state, and one wild card, I guess. Definitely apply anywhere you think is interesting. Just don't try and like set on one school. Just be like, I'm going to go to that school. Keep your mind open, because if you're gonna, what if you don't get in? Then you're gonna be so devastated that you have to go to your second choice school. So keep an open mind for any of the 5 schools that you're choosing. And don't wait until last minute to do these applications, because you qualify for scholarships if you send it in before December 1st. And I say if you apply as soon as the application opens, that you're gonna be a lot less stressed when school, you know, starts picking up, because applications start opening around October. Around October is when applications start opening up, and some actually have applications open in the summer. So if you start applying as soon as they open, you won't be so stressed out when midterms and finals come up in December, and you won't be so stressed out when papers are due in November. October is like right in the middle, so you'll have time to like get these done, and definitely be able to get recommendation letters if you need them. One thing about recommendation letters, though, is that not every college needs them. You might have to look online or call them asking if they need recommendation letters, because I know some schools, they'll say it's not required, but you can turn them in. And some schools are just like, we don't look at them unless you're on the wait list. So it's like, do you really want to tell your teachers, hurry up and write these recommendation letters for me if they're not going to be used? So definitely think about that. And if you think if you definitely know, or like you're sure that you're going to get waitlisted, send in recommendation letters, because sometimes it helps, you know, helps them get you off the wait list and think like, okay, they said this person is hardworking, so we're going to admit them. And essays can also help with that. You have to do 2 required essays. Usually one is about something you find important, and the other one's like someone that's important in your life. So, and they usually give you a third option where it says, write about whatever you want. Let us know more about you. Definitely take them up on that offer, because especially if you're going into a really big school and you're not sure, you know, my grades aren't that good, but I've done so many things and this, you can explain to them, well, I did so many activities and I'm not very good in school. You can explain to them in this one essay saying, I was never good at academics, but I excelled in perseverance with this sport, or with this one organization. And it will help them see like, okay, their grades aren't that great, but if they kept with this all 4 years and they held leadership positions, and you explain how hard you worked, it really helps them think, okay, they might not, you know, be, you know, the best student out there, but they will definitely work at everything they do. So take them up on that third essay, because you never know what will happen. You might be against someone as equally, you know, academically, equal to you, and with the same grades and, same, amount of extracurriculars. But that essay saying that you work hard and you had these positions might give you a little extra leeway, to get in. So definitely take them up on essays. Um, SATs and ACTs. If you did not take them your junior year, take them as soon as possible. You were supposed to take, like, in order to get the best scores you can, take them at the beginning of junior year and retake them as many times as you can, because they're only going to take the highest score. You don't have to show them any lower scores. So if you kept taking them since junior year, that would be great. But if you haven't taken them yet, take them as soon as possible. Sign up right now. Take your SAT, ACT. I can't say which one's easier, which one's harder, but I did a lot better on the ACT than the SAT. ACT has the science portion, while the SAT doesn't have a science portion. It's just math, reading, and writing. Or math, reading, comprehension, and then you have to take the writing portions for certain schools. So if I were you, I would just sign up for the writing portion just in case, because you might decide last minute, oh, I'm going to add the school on at the end to apply to, but they need the writing portion. So definitely take the writing portion just in case. Just take it and get it out of the way. And something that you should keep in mind, do not get senioritis. Or if you do get senioritis, keep doing your work. Just keep doing your work, because even though you're accepted to a school, they can rescind that acceptance because you didn't keep your grades up. If you go from being an A student to a D student, they're not going to keep you, they're going to be like, oh, this person doesn't take things seriously, so, or if you go from a B student to having D's and a couple of F's, or just, well, I doubt your senior you're going to get really F's, but getting D's, that's really going to show them, okay, what happened? They're just slacking off. You have to keep up this, image that you're going to keep working hard, or else what are you going to do when you get to your senior year of college? You're going to slack off, because those are your hardest classes right there, your senior year of college. So if you slack off there, there's no way you're going to graduate and find a good job. So definitely keep your grades up. If you don't think you have the grades to get into your first choice university, or any university, or anything like that, community college is a good way to, get your grades up. Just take some classes and you can transfer later. But still try and get your grades up. Don't just be like, I'm going to community college, it's whatever. But I'm not sure if they do, but they might look at your high school grades if you're transferring from a community college, but I'm not sure. But definitely keep that in mind. Like try and get your grades up, but there's no way, if you don't get into any of your choices, you can go to a community college. Or even if you go to a community college the summer before going to your university, it's a good way to get used to college life. Not college life, but college classes. Just don't take something that's really gonna, stress you out. I would not take a calculus class during the summer, or I would not take a physics class during the summer, or anything with a big load of reading, like a political science class. I would take that at the university when there's a long semester. But don't take classes like that during the summer, because you're going to tire yourself out and you're going to be like, I don't know if I can do this college thing. Waitlists. People are probably wondering what waitlists are. Waitlists are when either the school gives its quota of freshmen, like they give out all their freshman acceptances, and you're kind of in the middle area. You're not quite the outstanding as the first students, but you're not gonna be denied just looking at you, but you're like in the middle. And once they give out a certain quota to like the top students, the wait lists are like, well, if we have enough room, we'll let these people come in, because they're showing promise, but they're showing us promise that they can do the work. So they're going to put you on a wait list to see, because a lot of people that are on the top, like from the top 10%, may have only applied as a backup school if they don't get into Ivy League schools, they don't get into a certain school or program or something. So they'll apply to like a state school because they want a backup place. So most of those kids anyway, most of the students anyway aren't going to accept the acceptance. So if you're towards the top of the wait list, you're going to be pushed right into acceptance. And it's really sad that the bottom end, if there's not enough spaces, that they're going to be denied. But just because you're denied once does not mean the next year you're not going to be accepted. Because some schools actually, if they see and recognize that, oh, they applied here before, there's a higher chance you might get accepted. Some places do legacy still, that if your parents went there, or places, if you showed a lot of interest, they will definitely put you on a list to make sure they keep track with you to see, do you still want to go here? Do you still want to go here? And some applications say, have you ever been to a sporting event here? Have you ever visited here? How many times? Blah, blah, blah. And it helps you get in because it's like, oh, they really want to go here. They've been here so many times. So, yeah, visit the school before senior year starts, because if you go in the middle of the year, you're going to be like stressed out because, oh no, I have this paper due, this due, this due. You're not going to want to, go visit a college. Or you'll want to go visit the college and be like, I'm putting off that work. And it's going to make your grades drop and it's not going to work for you. So, definitely visit colleges this summer before senior year and get those done as soon as possible. And, sometimes schools know that you can't make it up there to visit the school, so sometimes you can possibly talk to, someone, call or email someone asking about the programs and things there. So try that. And one last tip is that when you get on a wait list for a school, and they won't let you know until late summer or midsummer if you're accepted, don't put off giving acceptance, telling the second choice school, hey, I'm going to go there. Like, tell them as soon as possible as you get on the wait list, because they'll make sure they have a spot for you. You can sign up for orientation. And although you're telling the school you're going to go there, you can always tell them before you start classes that I'm not going to go there anymore. As long as you let them know before classes, before they start, finishing up the orientations and classes start and everything like that, there's no penalty for you. I mean, they might not give you back the money for orientation or whatever you have to pay for, but they're not gonna, say, oh, this student's so bad, let's keep them from, this university if they ever want to transfer or things like that. You just have to make sure the school knows that you're not going to be attending. So, but make sure you do have a school secured once you are on a wait list for your first choice or second choice or whatever. Because unless you let them know, if you don't let them know, if you don't tell them that, hey, I'm going to go here, you're not going to have any school to go to. And if you get denied from the wait list, then what are you going to do? You don't have a school, you're going to have to, find somewhere else to go or something like that. So definitely tell the second choice, third choice, whatever, that you're going there if you're on a wait list. Just in case, you can always opt out of it later. You can always be like, oh wait, I'm not going there anymore. But you want to take precaution before anything. Even though if you have high grades, anything can happen. So, I think that's it. I know I kind of sped through this video. If you have any questions, comments, leave them below. I will answer them. I know a lot of people left some questions and concerns on my other video, which is why I did this one. So if a lot of people are asking questions, like that's why I talked about community college a little bit more in this video, so those people would understand. So yeah, always apply and accept always apply to a school, even if you have another plan. Always apply somewhere, because you never know what's going to happen. Something can fall through. So I hope I helped. Leave questions, comments below, and I will see you guys later. And I hope I helped. Bye.